We're driving cars on a Mars tonight.
Welcome to Everyday Reviews. This is the all-new BMW i7 all-electric vehicle, and today I'm going to tell you my top reasons why I think this is one of the best EVs I've ever driven. Number one, it's the looks. Styling is always subjective, and I have to admit, at first I was like, meh, for over $150,000, it doesn't scream look at me, but maybe I'm just around too many cars because others around me have commented on its premium looks. Even one passerby asked if it was a Rolls Royce. The polished chrome throughout does give it a very stately effect. That grille though, whether you like it or not, is sure an eye pleaser when the sun goes down and will look like nothing else coming down the road. Number two, it's the automatic doors. This seems to be a trend now. We saw it on the brand new G90, but check it out. We go inside the door, you can control it by the iDrive. You can also program a button on your key fob. Go close it all, look at that. And we want to open them all again, or we can open a particular one. Open up the driver's door. Now, when you get into the vehicle, when you hit the brake, it'll automatically close the door if you have that selected. If you close it and there's something blocking it though, like here, I'm going to close it, and oop, it'll tell you, it'll actually flash red, so it has sensors in it, which is a good thing. Now, when we tested the EQS from Mercedes, one thing that we criticized about that vehicle being that that is a flagship premium luxury vehicle on their part, and it didn't have soft closed doors. And I just thought that was so wrong for that EQS. Well, at least this i7 definitely has soft closed doors. We can actually auto open. We just hit the button. Takes a little bit of a delay, and then it pops open for you, just like that. Next one. Number three, interior fit and finish. Now let's close the automatic door, and once it closes, you are greeted into a whole different BMW experience. Really, BMWs are known for good quality and fit and finish, but this is just something on the next level for sure. Everything about it, the design, the look of it, the feel, it's so sleek, it's minimalistic, yet there's a lot going on. You don't even have any visible air vents. It's just this one continuous slot, and to open and close them, there are sliders, and there are these tiny little diffusers underneath to just change the direction. It's so slick, never seen that before. The seats, this leather is so soft, very supple, but they really coddle the passengers. You have heating, you have ventilation, you have massaging even the side bolsters. If you put it into a sport mode, it's going to actually go and tighten up around your torso to keep you in that seat even better. We've been at some BMWs that have the crystal shift knob, let's say on the X5. Well, this i7, the crystal is up to another level. Once again, you have that crystal iDrive knob. Your shifter is crystal. Your seat adjusters are crystal. But then you have this crystal motif going on the side door panels and across the entire lower dash. And it emulates crystal, but everything's embedded in that. Your HVAC controls are embedded in that. But it's what's behind it that really brings it to life, which is a lot of different lighting options, ambient lighting, animations that happen depending on what drive mode you're in. It really allows you to set whatever the lighting you want for whatever mood you want. It's very adjustable, and with the texture of this type of crystal motif, it really adds to it. And you know, like a lot of people are doing ambient lighting. This is just a different approach on it, and I like it. I like it a lot. There's so many different lighting designs. They've even incorporated lights into this Sky Lounge roof. So as we said on the outside with the grille, at nighttime, this is where the i7 really shines per se. Stereo wise, man, oh man. So you get a standard Bowers and Wilkins stereo, but this has the upgraded 4D Diamond Bowers and Wilkins audio system. And we tested this system out for the first time in the BMW iX. And At that time, I said, hey, I've never ever experienced anything like that. And same goes with this system here. You have 35 speakers, over almost 2,000 watts of power, but you get the 4-dimensional, you get these kickers in the seats. And when you're listening to whatever, or a movie, music, what's nice about it is that you can actually listen at low volume and still get that deep kind of booming bass. I definitely think this is a showstopper regardless if you're an audiophile or not. And even when you're not listening to it, this system even looks good. Yes, most of the 35 speakers are all embedded all over the place, but look in the front. I love how they've integrated the audio system into the door so seamlessly, and these grills, there's so much detail to them. And at nighttime, there's lights that go in behind them as well. Now these aren't in any particular order because number 4 could easily be number 1 for some people, and that is the theater system available on the BMW i7. So this screen here, we have a 5G connection with internet, we have Amazon Fire Stick. Right now I just folded the screen down, but at the same time our rear sunshade goes up, the shades go up. We have a theater mode as well, BMW theater screen here. This is a 31-inch screen. This is the largest single screen that I have ever seen in a vehicle, for sure. It's got 8K resolution. You can watch your Prime Video, your Netflix, your YouTube. Hey, you can even watch everyday reviews on this large screen here. Now to control it, there are some touch controls, but most of it is controlled by a 5.5-inch display on each rear armrest here. And yeah, I can control the shades, I can control the climate system, the seats, these are power seats. They have massage as well, as we mentioned. And yeah, you can use this as a remote, just like this, and I can just scroll, and the sound, of course, is amazing. And you can also adjust the screen itself. So if I want to go and say tilt it a little bit closer, I can do that. I can tilt it away or move it closer as well. That's a little bit too close, so I'm going to move it farther back, just like that. And if I want to tilt it back, I can do that. Now this i7 with the theater system, you won't hear anyone trying to call shotgun for the front. I'm serious. People are fighting to sit in the back seat. And this is even without the executive package. You can get an executive package where the passenger rear seat actually has an ottoman that folds out. This one is not equipped with it, but what an experience it is back here. Lots and lots of leg room. You have these comfy pillows, and just sit back here, and yeah, you could be here in gridlock traffic. You can control your own temperature, you can have the speakers playing what you want, or you can actually have headphones. So the option is yours. So this is number 4 or number 1, depends on your priorities. Let's head to the next one. Number 5, it's how the i7 drives and performs. So underneath the vehicle, we have just over 100 kilowatt hour lithium battery, and that's going to power 2 electric motors. This is all-wheel drive. You have a total of 536 horsepower and 549 pound-feet of torque. Fully charged, it's going to give you up to 512 kilometers of range, or that's 318 miles for our US friends down south. So let's take it for a drive. The i7 is no slouch. It'll make a run from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, or 62 miles per hour, in just 4.7 seconds. At a rolling start at 80 kilometers an hour right now, you press that pedal and it will suck you back. Now this is the best thing though. A lot of electric vehicles are capable of that, but it's how the power is delivered. It is ever so smooth. Even though you're gonna feel that G-force, it's not feeling like it's peeling your face back acceleration, and that's really not necessary. What you don't need in a luxury sled like this. Remember, most of the time you're probably going to be driving people around in here, or you'll have people riding in here enjoying the entertainment system. You don't want them to get whiplash. It's so quiet in here, other than you can actually have a sound emitted that emulates kind of like some sort of a sound of an engine. I don't mind it. It's not obtrusive at all. I don't know if you can hear it there, but when you brake on this thing, this is what I love. Now, the closest competitor is the Mercedes-Benz EQS, and we just recently tested that as well as the EQS SUV. And on those vehicles, I did criticize the brakes on there. It was really hard to modulate the brakes. It was not very linear. You press a little bit and you're like, okay, and then you press just a little bit more and it brakes a lot more. It wasn't really progressive. These brakes are so much better. It just feels like natural braking. There is no difference between your friction brakes and your regen. And speaking of regen, if we go and pull the drive lever back to B, we can go all the way to like one pedal driving. Okay, or we can just go and set our regen levels, including this has automatic. That is my favorite regen setting in any vehicle that has it, including our Ioniq 5, which means that if there are no vehicles or obstructions in front of you, it's just going to coast. And it's nice, you can let your foot off the pedal even. If it senses a vehicle, it's going to actually go and regen brake. I'm gonna turn that off because I really don't think, some people have said, hey, you just don't know how to drive one pedal driving. I do. I own a vehicle that has it. I've driven lots of one pedal drive vehicles. That doesn't mean that I have to like it. Yes, you can drive it smoothly, but you always have to have your foot on the throttle or the accelerator, I should say. And yeah, it's just, to me, it's just not comfortable. I just like sometimes, like on the highway, for instance, to be able to coast, not having this regen or even, gradually slowing down. I just want to coast. So this gives you all the options. Love that. Now we're turning a corner here. This is also equipped with rear axle steering. Now it's not as great as the Mercedes EQS, which can go up to 10 degrees. It's pretty extreme. This goes up to 3.5 degrees, but you can still notice it. It is really, really welcome for a large, long vehicle like this in tighter situations. But it's like, we're just driving here, regardless if you're a passenger or the driver, it's so relaxing. This is what a BMW 7 Series should be. Any luxury sled should be like this, regardless if it's a gas engine or electric. You really don't feel the difference. Of course, you have this instant torque, but the performance is very similar for both the gas or the electric versions of this. It's basically your choice. If you have a charger and it's easy to charge, I would go for the electric for sure. Another thing I like, you can get an advanced driving package. This is equipped with the Assist Plus for the semi-autonomous driving. You can see here, hands-free. Right here, we can see Assist Plus in green, also on our head-up display, also on the green lights on the steering wheel. Here, the sun is probably shining right into it though, but it doesn't work on all roads. It's very similar to like Chevrolet's Super Cruise system or the Ford Blue Cruise, but if you are on a road that accepts this vehicle and this system, you can go hands-free. We're on highway number 1 right now in the Vancouver area, and I can go hands-free. It's not going to tell me to go and put my hands on the wheel anytime soon, unless we go to a construction zone or the highway ends possibly. And there is a camera that is sensing your eyes, so when you do turn away, it doesn't take long. It will tell you that, hey, pay attention. So you can't take a snooze or anything like that, but it is solid. We're not bouncing around at all. It's super, super comfy. I wish I could be in the back though, watching a movie, but there it is. Assist Plus working really, really well. It does not do lane changes, by the way. So when I want to do a lane change, for instance, it'll disengage itself. I'll do the lane change and then it will re-engage afterwards. We're coming to the end of the freeway on an exit here, and now it's saying assisted driving is activated, so the plus has deactivated, and now we're still in cruise control until I hit the brake, and we'll just continue on our way. Another thing to like about the i7 is that it comes with 3 years of complimentary charging with Electrify Canada if you buy it in Canada, or Electrify America if you buy it in the US. But they only work with their respective countries. Also, it even has this backup assistant. This is not new, not really new, but I just tried it a few times on this and it's kind of cool. You pull into a driveway, a parking spot or whatever, maybe you're in an apartment, in underground parking, you pull it in. When you reverse, it actually remembers the path that you took to get in there. So that's a big bonus. If you have a tight spot, for instance, in your underground, you just put in reverse, hit the accelerator, then you can control the brake, and it'll back itself out perfectly the same way that you backed or drove it in. So as long as you didn't hit anything on the way in, you should be good coming out, but always be careful though. Final thoughts on the BMW i7. Man, I think this is the best EV that I've driven, period. Sure, some of you are gonna say, hey, of course, how many people can afford this vehicle? Because it starts at 161,000 Canadian dollars and it goes all the way up. This tester is around about $180,000. So it is not inexpensive. You need fairly deep pockets. And yes, it is not a grocery getter. It's not the $20,000 EV that everybody wants, including myself. So just think of this. If you're thinking, hey, I don't want to root for this car because, you know, no, I can't afford it. Most of this technology will filter down to the cars you and I will eventually end up buying. And yeah, maybe, you know, that cinema screen, maybe that'll be still an option, but it's gonna be a lot less money, and that's the way it works. Go BMW. I hope you enjoyed our top 5 of this BMW i7. Let me know, what do you think? If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and also make sure, hit that subscribe button to find more everyday reviews of all sorts of content, regardless if it's cars, planes, travel, tech, you name it, we do it all. See you on the next review. Cheers.